Hello, my name is Lauren.
And I'm Kai.
And welcome to the Theoretical YouTube channel, where neither of us have any real background in music theory.
Just some basic high school music classes and the internet at our fingertips.
So while we roll our lame intro, think about this.
Why does every pop song sound the same?
I'm sure that many of you have seen that Axis of Awesome video about the Four Chords.
If you haven't seen it, pause right now, click the link in the description, then come back to this video.
Don't worry, we'll wait. Alright, now that you're familiar, let's continue.
The Four Chords is a 1-5-4-6 progression, and these Roman numerals represent different scale degrees and give us some information about them.
A 1 chord is based on the tonic, or the first note of a scale.
The 5 chord is built on the dominant, or the 5th note.
A 4 chord is based on the 4th.
And I bet you can guess what a 6 chord starts on.
The capitalized ones are major, and the lowercase ones represent minor chords.
Major chords sound pretty happy, and minor chords sound kinda sad.
And the only real difference between them is that in a minor chord, the third or the second note is lowered a half step, while in a major chord, it's slightly higher.
The half step is just a fancy term for the smallest interval of Western music, and a whole step is just 2 half steps.
So major chords are built like this, and minor chords sound like this.
So for those who didn't watch the video in the description, the basic idea is that a lot of pop songs use this progression as the basis for all of their music.
And the important thing to remember is that these aren't super special notes. The reason they get used so often isn't because people like them.
In reality, people like them because they're used so often.
In psychology, this phenomenon is referred to as the mere exposure effect.
According to the American Psychological Association, mere repeated exposure of the individual to a stimulus object enhances its attitude toward it.
In other words, the more you interact with something, the more fond of it you'll become.
This is why if you feed a child veggies, then they'll probably grow to like them after a few or more tries.
It's why a song can annoy you at first, but eventually you'll find yourself jamming in the car in traffic.
So when you hear the same chords in another song, you think, oh, I know this, I like that.
Basically, you're skipping the first 20 times you have to hear something before you start jamming.
Yeah, that's right. We're hip with the lingo.
So brainwashing isn't being done for any real malicious intent here. It's just the media trying to get us to buy more of it.
And of course, pieces of it might not even be intentional.
Because sure, there's plenty of talented artists who actually know exactly what they're doing, but most are human.
I know it may come as a shock to many of you, but your idols from the radio are just as susceptible to all of the psychology principles as you are.
They use chord progressions because they fit the story that they're trying to tell, but also because they like them.
And they probably like them because they heard the same chord progressions in the songs they enjoy.
It's a general rule that if you like a certain musician's work, you'll like their inspirations as well.
And it just so happens that so many songs use these progressions, like 1-5-4-6, so that other artists are subconsciously implementing them into their songs.
Ah, but we're not done yet. Because another major impact on pop music is the audience who's listening. And for the radio, they're going to try to appeal to as many people as possible. This means that the music is usually boiled down to the most basic version of itself.
A bass line, a melody, and some harmony in there too. There's actually not that much advanced thought that goes into dissecting these pop songs.
We are robo-tuned!
And this idea has been true for a long time.
The exploration and popularization of the 4-part harmony is most often credited to Johann Sebastian Bach and other composers of the Baroque era.
And as I always say, if it's not Baroque, don't fix it.
Pop songs on the radio are most often pretty short, like 2 to 3 minutes long.
This aspect comes from the fact that as a general audience, we have pretty short attention spans. We like hearing a verse or two, the repeated chorus, and maybe a bridge as well.
And the idea that short songs are a recent thing isn't truthful at all.
The music library of John Philip Sousa consists mostly of marches, 136 to be exact.
There's a reason we call him the March King.
Anyway, marches in essence consist of 4 parts: the A section, B section, trio, and dogfight. This is called march form.
The A and B sections are usually repeated once each after an opener that kicks down the door.
The radio is generally characterized by a key change. In pretty much every march, you're going to end up adding a flat to the key signature. You also lose about half the instruments from the previous sections, leaving a predominantly woodwind sound.
The dogfight throws the melody back to the brass. In particular, Sousa liked to give the trombones the spotlight in the section.
The dogfight was the big finish, and it also usually repeats and crescendos the second time.
So how does this relate to pop music?
Well, back then, Sousa was pop music.
And part of its mass appeal was how simple and predictable it was. If you went to a Sousa concert, you'd know exactly what you were gonna get.
And nowadays, you can turn on the radio, and more likely than not, you know what you're gonna get.
Not to mention Sousa was a huge fan of Bach and included a lot of the same harmonic patterns and chords.
Sousa's music was simple in composition, but also in emotion.
His marches are happy, at most patriotic. This comes from its simplicity, but also how safe they play it with style.
Don't get us wrong, playing Sousa takes stamina, and it's not easy, but listening to it is another story.
There's a case to be made that they're all just repetitive, bouncy tunes.
Written in major keys?
That don't make the audience feel anything too deeply.
Much like modern pop music, these performers know that they are entertainment, and they know that most people don't like to be challenged by their art. Well, at least art they consume to pass idle time.
Pop stars make no pretense that they're changing the game in any way. Do you listen to Katy Perry songs and expect to be moved to a deeper understanding of your place in the universe?
Of course not.
By the way, historically, music does have this ability.
Take Igor Stravinsky's Rite of Spring, which premiered in Paris in 1913.
The ballet was so unorthodox that it caused riots in the streets. This is due to its ability to challenge the audience to feel emotions that they probably weren't ready to feel that night.
Music in skilled hands can be used as a weapon, or more likely as a catalyst for change.
But modern composers don't appear on KQMV, and Taylor Swift is no Stravinsky.
Like Sousa, pop music aims to entertain the most amount of people with the simplest of techniques, and a lot of talent goes into this craft.
Creating a catchy hook is really difficult, and songwriters get paid a lot of money to get it right.
Music production is another underappreciated field in the industry. It takes so much talent to seamlessly create a song that highlights the best of the recording artist, draws on popular trends without seeming trivially derived, and constantly play with what sounds fresh.
All while staying true to a genre or style the artist or production company are going for.
So, are we being brainwashed by pop music?
Not in the traditional sense. We're not being fed subliminal messages by playing the music backwards or anything.
Rather, popular music is a product of its time, and therefore its specific audience. People know what they like, and more often than not, it's what they know.
Simplicity and mass appeal create a cycle that produces similar music over and over again.
But change is inevitable. Innovation isn't dead.
While it may seem like the radio just plays the same 5 songs over and over again, new trends take off and culture doesn't move backwards.
So maybe we'll just have to wait for the next generation of artists to learn from their inspirations like Sousa did from Bach.
And something new is just around the corner. It's just a matter of time.
Does anyone else feel like that ending got really sappy?
And if you liked this video, don't be shy and give us a thumbs up.
And of course, if you disagree with anything we've said, we'd be happy to hear your incredibly respectful and constructive comments in the section below.
And don't forget to subscribe and ring that little bell icon for new content every time it comes out.
And we also opened a Twitter account if you want to follow Theoretical YouTube channel at crispy_lotus.
If you think you get the joke, we guarantee you don't.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.
City goats, sun and rain.